This week is Jonathan Kent. As always with DC, I like to clarify all of the parts of this story, as far as I know, are post Rebirth. So anything
Okay.
before Rebirth may or may not exist anymore.
Right.
So Jonathan Samuel or John Kent is
Mm.
Superman.
Okay.
Currently Superman.
Okay.
First appearance in Convergence Superman #2 in July 15. I think he existed before that. I think that's his first post Rebirth appearance. Don't quote me though.
Right.
He is the eldest son to Clark Kent and Lois Lane. He was born shortly after his parents' wedding and during an alien invasion.
Oh, fitting.
Clark was told by Martian Manhunter and John Stewart Green Lantern to
Mhm.
go to the birth of your child. We've got this covered. Don't worry about it.
Nice.
During the birth, Batman and Wonder Woman guarded the fortress,
Oh, okay.
and discussed the child's future potential with Clark's abilities and Lois's mind.
Oh, classic Batman.
The most Batman thing possible. It's like, okay, so when he turns 18,
18? You think Batman
yeah,
will wait till 18?
when he turns 18, he can start doing like missions by himself.
Oh. Yeah, by
um,
5, we'll get him on the training martial arts.
yeah. Uh, John was John was named in honor of both of his earthly grandfathers. John
Oh,
obviously
okay.
being for Jonathan Kent, Samuel being Lois's father's name.
Yeah.
Um, he would for a time grow up unaware of his father and how famous his mother was as a reporter, because they wanted him to have a normal life.
Well.
This was until him and his mother were kidnapped. Clark saved them,
Mm.
and then they explained to John what was happening.
Oh, yeah, by the way, your dad's Superman.
Yeah. Shortly after this, his powers began to emerge,
Oh, okay.
starting with heat vision, which accidentally cost them the family cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Um,
rough one.
One of, I think, the most popular modern comics is the Super Sons, which is John Kent as Superboy and Damian Wayne as Robin. Um,
Ah,
so there's a very famous comic line called World's Finest, which is basically a Batman and Superman like comic.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just them two off together being fucking awesome. Super Sons was like the successor to that,
Oh, okay.
or spiritual successor.
Yeah, that's cool.
However, things weren't always good between John and Damian. It was actually, ironically, very similar to Batman and Superman's relationship to start with. Batman being very uneasy about this giant alien flying about who, if he wanted to, could destroy everything. I'm not sure. I just want to take his word that he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So what you had Damien doing the same. He was keeping an eye on John. He was making sure that he could be trusted, etc., etc. John, while still getting to grips with his powers, accidentally started a small forest fire, which Justice League members sorted out pretty quickly. But then it became aware that Damien informed the Justice League because he'd been watching John,
Ah.
which led to a headbutt between Bruce and Clark
Ah.
because they'd been
Dads.
here
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It was actually John that caused them to snap back into it because he used his ice breath to like force them apart.
Oh.
At which point they realized they were both parents now, and they created like fake missions that the kids had to complete together
Ah,
to
okay.
learn how to be friends and how to work together.
Yeah.
They failed them all miserably.
Nice.
And then when their parents were actually in danger, they managed to get over it when it mattered. It then turned out that that was also fake.
Oh.
But it was just made to seem more real. And it was at that point that Alfred dubbed them the Super Sons.
Smart man.
Yeah. So John and Damien have a very, very close relationship. Ironically, John also idolizes Nightwing
Ah.
because once upon a time when he went flying for the first time by himself, he got lost in the night and he had to he used his heat vision to create a cave he could hide in.
Oh, okay.
And it was Batman and Dick that found him. but Batman was intimidating as fuck, so it was Dick who actually went in to get him out and let him know that he was going to be okay. And from that moment on, John was like, "You're a cool dude, I trust you," which is valid. I don't think anyone dislikes Dick Grayson. He seems to be that guy that everyone's like, "I like Dick."
Sound.
That was genuinely an accent.
Just gonna chop that right there.
Yeah.
New voice clip for us.
Son of a bitch. When Clark had to leave Earth to deal with extraterrestrial threats that were mounting, that is when John took up the mantle of Superman.
Okay.
There was a bit of time where John struggled with being Superman, though. He was struggling to understand like how he fit into the world of Superman when it comes to authority and the police and am I a vigilante? Do I work with the government? What do I do? During this, Damien pointed him in the direction of an underground stream called The Truth, which was essentially an investigative reporter that told stories that companies were suppressing.
Okay.
Which John would then use to act on and help people.
Right.
Later on, John learned that the author, creator of The Truth was Jay Nakamura, who he'd previously saved when they were at university together. And Jay Nakamura currently is his boyfriend. John is bisexual.
Okay.
I'm not sure. People will probably remember certain idiots on Twitter lost their ever-loving shit, I want to say about a year and a half ago, because the headline was Superman is gay, when in reality, John was Superman.
Yeah.
And he had just come out as bisexual with his boyfriend.
Got you.
So people lost their ever-loving mind because, heaven forbid.
Everyone's like, oh my God, Clark Kent?